In this lecture, we are going to discuss a very important concept which is called plasma oscillation. In fact, you will find a characteristic frequency in the calculation of plasma oscillation which is called plasma frequency, and you will see in the forthcoming lectures that always we have a use of this characteristic frequency in our calculations. So let us start plasma oscillation. First of all, I would like to say you, when you say plasma oscillation, it means electron oscillation of plasma. Actually, there are two types of plasma oscillation, electron oscillation and ion oscillation. But in general, when we call plasma oscillation, that means electron oscillation. First of all, I would like to give you some idea in an introduction regarding the plasma oscillation. Actually, the first treatment of plasma oscillation was given by two scientists named Tonk and Langmuir. Actually, Tonk and Langmuir considered an idealized plasma with no thermal motion of ions and electrons. When you say no thermal motion, it means T equal to 0, or you can say Kt equal to 0, where K is Boltzmann constant. So we do not consider the thermal motion of plasma particles in case of this plasma oscillation, or in the treatment of Tonk and Langmuir. So, as I have told you, there are actually two types of plasma oscillations. First one is known as electron oscillation, and the second one is known as ion oscillation. Actually, electron oscillation is very fast. It is so fast that the ions can be regarded as stationary, and secondly, you can say the ion oscillation which are so slow that electron at all times adjust their energy and density so as to remain in equilibrium, and it satisfies the Boltzmann distribution. So now I would like to discuss this plasma oscillation in a quantitative manner. As I have told you, when we say plasma oscillation, that means electron oscillation, although you have just now studied in introduction that there are two types of plasma oscillation, oscillation of electron and oscillation of ions. But due to the larger inertia, the oscillation of ions are so slow that we do not consider it. We only consider that these ions only make or keep the plasma neutral, and no contribution in the oscillation. On the other hand, electron oscillation is fast, so in general, when we say plasma oscillation, that means electron oscillation. So to deal with this oscillation, let us consider a plasma medium, and I am just taking this plasma medium of infinite extension, and in this plasma medium we consider a background of the ions. This is just an assumption. Here, see this figure, I have shown this in this figure so many positive signs, or the sign of plus, and in fact this plus sign represents the distribution of ions. We consider that there is a uniform distribution of ions in an infinite extension, and in this charge distribution, or you can say in this uniform background of ions, there is electrons also present. As you know, in plasma, ions and electrons, both charged particles are present. For calculation, let us consider only one electron. Say the electron under consideration is at point O and it is in equilibrium. When you say that at point O electron is in equilibrium, it means the net force on electron when it is at O is 0. Now, in this uniform charge distribution of the positive ions, let us consider this electron is displaced to a point say P by X. When the electron will be displaced to a position P, then actually electron, when electron will be displaced, then electric field is created, or you may say produced, and the direction of electric field is such that the electron is pulled towards the equilibrium position. See in this figure, when electron is displaced from O to P, in fact in rightward direction, the electric field produced is also in rightward direction. And you know, as electron is a negatively charged particle, so it will experience an electric force, or you may say electrostatic force, in the leftward direction, because electric force on the electron will be what? This will be actually minus E into E. This minus sign indicates that this force is in opposite direction of the electric field. So, due to this developed electric field, electron is pulled towards the equilibrium position, and it in fact it reaches to the equilibrium position if it is released from the displaced position P. As electron has mass, or you can say electron has inertia, so due to that mass or inertia, the electron is overshooted. In fact, when the electron will reach again to the equilibrium position O, net force on it will become 0. But due to inertia, the electron is not at rest at O, but it is overshooted in leftward direction. And so it moves in the leftward direction, and you know, if the electron will be now moving towards the leftward direction, now the electric field will be produced in leftward direction due to this displacement of electron, and so that electric field will now pull the electron again towards the equilibrium position. So again the electron will reach to the equilibrium position, net force will become 0, but due to inertia, this electron is again overshooted in rightward direction. So you can see the electron in this way, under the electrostatic field developed in the plasma medium, oscillate about its equilibrium position O. And in fact this oscillation is known as plasma oscillation, or you can say electron oscillation. And you know, when oscillation will take place, there will be a particular frequency with which this oscillation takes place. So the frequency with which the electron oscillates about its equilibrium position O is known as plasma frequency. Actually, plasma frequency is a characteristic frequency. It is one of the parameters of plasma, and so its expression is very important. As I have told you, that expression which just I am going to find will be always used in the forthcoming concepts of plasma physics. So our aim is to find frequency of plasma oscillation, or you can say plasma frequency. Plasma frequency, which I would like to denote by omega p. Our aim is to find out the expression for this. Now, to find the expression for the plasma frequency, we make some assumptions. Actually, these assumptions were have been taken by the Tonk and Langmuir in his treatment of plasma oscillation. So we are just going to consider all those assumptions which the Tonk and Langmuir has taken while dealing with the plasma oscillation. And what are these assumptions? The first one is there is no magnetic field. No magnetic field is present in this region, that is in the region where plasma oscillation will take place, that is free from magnetic field. And so you can say this is not electromagnetic oscillation, but you will see in the further calculation this is actually an electrostatic oscillation. The another important assumption is there is no thermal motion. As I have told you in the introduction, in case of an idealized plasma, we can assume no thermal motion of plasma particles. And when you say no thermal motion, what does it mean? It means Kt is equal to 0, or you can simply say T equal to 0. It means we consider that the temperature is at absolute 0, and at absolute 0, in accordance with the kinetic theory of gases, there is no thermal motion, because all the velocities or speeds defined for the molecules of a gas, are proportional to a square root of T. And so when T will be 0, there will be no thermal motion. If you define RMS speed, that will be 0. If you define most probable speed, that will be 0. If you define the average or mean speed, that will be also 0. So plasma particles are considered motionless in this calculation. Now, our third assumption is what? The third assumption is ions are fixed in a space in a uniform distribution. As I have told you, we consider that there is a uniform distribution of ions, and in this uniform distribution of ions, actually the oscillation of electron takes place. So this is our third assumption. And the fourth one is plasma is infinite in extent. And this fact I have already mentioned in introduction, that we consider that the plasma medium is extended to infinity. It is infinitely long or large. Why? Why we consider this assumption? As you see here, the electron is oscillating along this line. So our consideration is that during this oscillation, the electron cannot be ever out of the medium, and for this we consider that the plasma medium is actually extended to a large extent, or you can say infinite extent. So these are the four assumptions on the basis of which we will actually derive the expression for plasma frequency. Now, as the assumption says there is no magnetic field, so I have told you that this is the case of an electrostatic oscillation, not electromagnetic oscillation. So you can say due to the absence of magnetic field, there will be no electrostatic oscillation. And if the oscillation is electrostatic, we can actually start from the equation of continuity, which actually refers the charge conservation principle. So as magnetic field B is equal to 0, B is 0, so it is electrostatic oscillation. Electrostatic oscillation, and you can say there is no fluctuating magnetic field, and so the oscillation will be of electrostatic nature. Now equation of continuity is what? Equation of continuity, which actually refers the charge conservation, and this equation of continuity is one of the MHD equation. As I have told you that we will now discuss the applications of MHD equation. So you can say this is the application of one of the MHD equations, and that MHD equation is what? This is equation of continuity, and it is given as, you know, divergence of J plus del rho by del T is equal to 0. Here J is actually conduction current density, and you know what is the expression for J. Actually this vector J is given as NE into E into VE. And in this expression, what is this NE? This is actually electron density. Electron density, or you may call it electron concentration. When you say electron density, what does it mean? Actually it means this is number of electrons in unit volume of the medium, and E is actually charge of electron. See here, I have not taken into account the sign of charge of electron, and this may be taken, but when we will not take into account it, so in further calculation, whenever E will come, we will not take its sign. The result will remain same. And what is this VE? Actually VE is drift velocity of the electron. This is drift velocity of electron. And rho, this rho is what? This is actually volume charge density, which means charge content or distributed in unit volume. As you know, Ne is the number of electron in unit volume, and E is the charge of one of the electrons. So the charge content in unit volume will be what? This will be simply Ne into E. You can see when we will take minus sign here and minus sign here and put it in this equation, that will simply become plus sign. Minus will be minus 1 will be taken common, and that will be equated to 0, so the sign does not change, and so I am not taking the negative sign. Now let us put these two values, value of J and value of rho, in equation 1. So now what will be our equation 1? This will be del dot Ne into E into VE plus del T Ne into E, and this equal to 0. As electronic charge E is constant, so we may take it out from the operator del and del T and equate to 0. So our result is divergence of NeVe plus del Ne by del T, and this equal to 0. Let us say this is equation 2. Actually this equation can be solved by the process of linearization. First of all, to solve this equation, we have to make this equation linear, and after that we will seek its solution. And when you say that we have to make this equation linear, what does it mean? It means we have to neglect all those terms in which the amplitude factor has higher powers. And this is also called first order consideration, and in first order consideration we always neglect the quadratic term and the higher order terms. So to solve this equation, make this equation linear. Solving equation 2, we make it linear. And to make the equation linear, what we will have to do? We will have to do the neglecting of the all of the terms containing amplitude having larger powers. For this, we neglect the terms containing higher powers of amplitude. Higher powers of amplitude. But before doing that, we first of all separate the dependent variables in two parts. First part of the dependent variable is called its equilibrium part, and the second part is called perturbation part. Perturbation part means disturbed part. When the plasma is disturbed, then that part arises. But when the plasma is not disturbed, electron is not displaced, that situation is equilibrium situation, and we will actually express all the dependent variables as a sum of its equilibrium value and the perturbed value. So we can write dependent variables are expressed as sum of its equilibrium value and the perturbed value. In this regard, we can write this quantity Ne as N0 plus N dashed. Actually here 0 in fact represents the equilibrium value, and this prime or dash represents the perturbed value, and VE is written as V naught plus V dash. Here also this is equilibrium value of velocity and this is the perturbed value of velocity. Or you can say this is the perturbed part of velocity and this is equilibrium part of velocity. In a similar manner, the electric field E is written as E naught plus E prime. Here also E naught refers the equilibrium value part of the electric field and it represents the perturbed part of the electric field. Now what will be its equation number? Its equation number will be 3. Let us say this is equation 3. Now we will substitute or use this equation 3 in equation 2. See the equation 2. In this equation we will replace this Ne by N naught plus n dashed and VE by V naught plus V dashed. So using equation 3 in equation 2, what will be our result? So using three in 2, we get what we will get. See the equation number 2. There is del dot NE into V, but NE will be now written as N naught plus N dashed into V not V but VE. VE is V naught plus V dashed. V naught plus V dashed plus del NE by del T. But now NE will be written as N naught plus N dashed, and this equal to 0. Let us say this is equation 4. Before solving this equation, one thing is very remarkable here, that the equilibrium quantities actually express the state of plasma in absence of the oscillation. That is, when electron is not disturbed, no oscillation takes place. In that condition, we write the equilibrium part of all the dependent quantities. And since we have assumed a uniform neutral plasma at rest before the electrons are displaced, so in that condition, what will be the value of different quantities? You can see here. As before disturbing or perturbing, you can say, disturbing the plasma medium. When you say before disturbing the plasma medium, it means before displacing the electron or before the oscillation. You can say, as before disturbing the plasma medium, it is at rest. And so what will be our result? Actually, in that condition, velocity will be 0, and you know, when electron is displaced, only then electric field is produced. Otherwise, in the equilibrium condition, there was no electric field present in the body of plasma. So the equilibrium value of electric field E naught is also 0. And this N naught is actually the plasma and the particle density of plasma in equilibrium condition or before the plasma oscillation. And actually this, as I have assumed the uniform distribution of ions, so this N naught will be actually constant. This is not 0 but constant. And if it is constant, what will be its gradient? Its gradient del N naught will be actually 0. Now again, this N naught, when you say N naught is constant, it means N naught is not a function of space and time. And when it is not a function of a space, then its gradient is 0. And if it is not a function of time, then you can say this del N naught by del T will be 0. At the same time, as V naught is 0, E naught is 0, so these results implies that del V naught by del T and del E naught by del t will be also 0. So these are the values of different quantities in condition of equilibrium or before disturbing the plasma or before the displacement of electron. Now we will use these values in the equation which just I have derived. See this equation and you can put or use the equation, all those values in the above equation. So here when we will use all those values, what this equation 4 will become. Let us now see in this condition the form of equation 4 will be what. So equation 4 becomes, what will be this equation? This will be actually then divergence of, this is del dot divergence of n naught plus n dashed into v dashed, because v naught is 0, and plus del n1 by del t, because del n naught by del t is 0, and this is equal to 0. Now simplify this result. This will be divergence of n naught into v dashed plus divergence of n dashed v dashed and plus del n1 by del t equal to 0. And in this result you can see this term, that is divergence of n dashed v dashed, is actually a quadratic term. And as I have told you, to make the equation linear, we neglect all the higher order terms, the quadratic terms. Only in first order consideration we consider the first order term or zeroth order term, not quadratic term and higher order term. So this term del dot n dashed v dashed, actually this is a quadratic term. And so to linearize the equation, it is neglected. And when we will neglect this quadratic term, what will be our equation? This equation will be simply del dot, that is divergence of n naught v dashed plus del n1 by del t. What will be our equation number? This will be actually 5. This is equation 5. Now, to get the desired result, let us consider a mathematical step. We have to actually differentiate this equation 5 partially with respect to time. So differentiate equation 5 partially with respect to t, then that result will be del t del dot n naught v dashed plus del 2n1 by del t square, and this is equal to 0. As you know, the operator del dot, that is divergence operator, and the partial time derivative operator, both are interchangeable. So we can just exchange the order of these operators, and after exchanging the order of operators, what will be our result? Our result will be del dot del t n naught v dashed plus see here, there is actually n dashed, not n1, n dashed, and this is del 2 n dashed by del t square equal to 0. Now since n naught is constant, it is independent of time because it is the equilibrium plasma concentration. So we will take this n naught outside of the operator, and our result will be what? Our result will be n naught del dot del v dashed by del t plus del 2n dashed by del t square, and this equal to 0. This is 0. Say this is equation number 6. Now see the term del v dashed by del t. What is this? You know, this is actually acceleration of the plasma particle. So this del v dashed by del t, this is equal to a, and this is actually acceleration of electron. And from Newton's second law we know that acceleration is what? A is equal to F over m, and here the force acting on the electron is actually electrostatic force, and it is given by E into E dashed, and so the acceleration A will be E dashed divided by m. Now let us substitute this value of A, or you can say del v dashed by del t, in equation 6. And so substituting this value of A in equation 6, what will be our result? You can see the form of this equation, and substituting this value of A in the term instead of del v dashed by del t. So see the form and write the equation now. So equation 6 is written as what will be now this equation? This will be actually del dot n naught E into E dashed divided by m plus del 2n dashed by del t square, and this is equal to 0. And since n naught E over m is a constant factor, so you can write it as n naught E over M, and divergence of E dashed plus del 2 n dashed by del t square, and this equal to 0. And we write this equation as equation 7. Now, this term del dot E dashed, actually we can write its value on the basis of Maxwell's equation. So from Maxwell equation, we know that divergence of this electric field vector E dashed is actually equal to rho over epsilon naught. You know epsilon naught is permittivity of free space and rho is the volumetric charge density. And what is this rho? This will be actually n dashed into E, because n dashed is number of electrons per unit volume in fact in disturbed condition or perturbed condition. So this is n dashed E over epsilon naught. Now substitute this value in this equation 7 at the place of divergence of E dashed. So equation 7 now becomes, what will be now this equation 7? This will be actually n naught E over M into divergence of E dashed, and the divergence of E dashed is what? This is n dashed E over epsilon naught, and plus del 2 n dashed by del t square, and this equal to 0. And in a simplified manner you can write this equation as, this will be n naught E square over M epsilon naught into n dashed plus del 2 n dashed by del t square, and this equal to 0. Now we will simplify this equation by taking this factor n naught E square by epsilon naught as a common factor. So our equation will be not, but don't take it as a common factor, but write it in this way. This is del 2 n dashed by del t square plus omega p square n dashed equal to 0. This is the most important result which we have to find. See here, this quantity omega p square I have written at the place of n naught E square over M epsilon naught. I am just writing it in another page, that omega p which we have used here, that is equal to root over n naught E square over M epsilon naught. This is actually, I have assumed it omega p, so write it as omega p and say this is equation B. Now you can see that this very equation defined in A is nothing, it is simply equation of SHM. This is just equation of SHM. And this equation implies that the number density of electron, that is n dashed, is just oscillating in a simple harmonic manner. Just in a simple harmonic manner. And so, and the frequency of that oscillation is actually omega p, or you can say this is its cyclic frequency or the angular frequency. And this cyclic frequency of this oscillation is equal to this much, which is defined in equation B. Actually, this frequency omega p is known as plasma frequency. This omega p is actually what? This is plasma frequency. And so it is the most important result. I suggest you always remember this expression, as you will find its use at various places in the forthcoming concepts. Now, this is cyclic frequency, and if we have to define the regular frequency, so now you know the regular frequency, if it is denoted by Fp, this will be simply omega divided by 2 pi. Omega divided by 2 pi, or you can say this is 1 over 2 pi. Omega means omega p. 1 over 2 pi root over n naught e square over m epsilon naught. And actually in this equation, except n naught, all quantities are universal constants. You know this E is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. M is mass of electron, and this is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, and this is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton meter square. And if we will substitute all these constants in this equation, let's say equation number C, and simplify, our result will be what? You will find, you can simplify it, and then you will see that the result is almost equal to 9 into root over n naught. I suggest you should also remember this very important result. This is the regular plasma frequency, and this expression is very simple to remember. So remember, the plasma frequency is 9 into root over n naught. And you can see from this result that the plasma frequency depends only on the plasma density. And this frequency, as I have told you, is one of the fundamental parameters of plasma. So see, this Fp is actually a function of n naught only, plasma density. And as we know, the particle density of plasma is very large, and for a typical example, if we take n naught equal to of the order of 10 to the power 18 electrons per meter cube, then you can see from that expression Fp will be equal to what? This will be 9 into root over 10 to the power 18, and this will be 9 into 10 to the power 9 Hz, which may be written as 9 gigahertz. Actually, this frequency of the order of gigahertz is this frequency lies in the microwave region. So the frequency of the order of microwave region is plasma frequency. Microwave region. One thing here is important, that the plasma oscillation is to occur at all, it must have a frequency depending only on N naught. As I have told you, this frequency omega p, or you can say Fp, depends only on N naught. And in particular, you can say that this frequency does not depend on the wave vector k. Omega p is not a function of wave vector k. See here, this you may write it kappa because I have written the k as Boltzmann constant. So this kappa is wave vector, or you can say propagation constant. But as it is clear from the expression for omega p that it is independent of k, and so what will be this d omega p by dk? This d omega p by dk will be 0, and you know what is this d omega p by dk? This is actually group velocity. We denote it by Vg, and this Vg will be 0. This is a very remarkable fact. This Vg is known as group velocity, and you know the physical significance of group velocity is what? Group velocity is actually the velocity with which energy of a wave is transmitted. So this is a very significant velocity in discussion of wave motion, and in fact always energy is propagated at a particular speed, and that speed is called group velocity. But here, since group velocity is 0, it means the disturbance created in the plasma medium is not propagated as a wave. And so I have I have told you earlier that this is just a electrostatic oscillation. No wave is produced here, and so the disturbance does not travel as a wave. So this Vg equal to 0, this result implies that disturbance does not propagate as a wave, and so plasma oscillation is purely an electrostatic oscillation. So this was all about the plasma oscillation, and I hope you have clearly understand everything which I have mentioned in this lecture.